Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
And slowly but surely, we get things moving along here. It's one of those days where the computer has not had its cup of coffee, and I ask it to do something, and it says, I will get to it in a minute. Welcome, everybody, to the Critical Blast Caverns. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at criticalblast.com. And for those in the United States, happy Independence Day. Ironically, we're going to have a bunch of Brits on the show today. So we're going to have some fun with that. We are introducing a group of cosplayers from the UK who call themselves the Cosmaniacs, and we're going to bring them in one at a time here. Let's first welcome Spider-Man. As soon as the computer says it will run the introduction. Going with the best technology 1997 has to offer here. We will get them in. It will happen. We're going to choose to wait on that message. See, this is why I didn't do it while the fireworks were on, because we know that you want to see something. And there's
Hello,
Spider-Man.
everyone.
We are getting some action going here. Spider-Man, how are you doing today?
Hey Howard, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not too bad. Everything is great. Just getting through the day,
We
and
are having an audio issue there, but I'm bringing him back in. Going back to the broadcast studio. This is going to happen from time to time, but we will persevere. Sometimes
no
it's
problem.
worse than usual. Also adding to the stream are Hyperbole and Asylum.
Hiya.
Hey guys.
All right, Spider-Man, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
We can't hear you, so rather than do the whole electric company Spider-Man thing, we're going to drop you and bring you in again. Don't do anything there. We'll be right back. One of these days, I will go to a garage sale and pick up a computer that was made after the millennium. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it and just bring the page back up. We won't go anywhere. We are live. So while we're here with audio, let's talk to the people we can hear at the moment, which are Hyperbole and Asylum. So
Hiya.
Now I'm going to guess that the gentleman is the photographer of the group.
No, he's our far.
So
It's just had a very long day.
So what got you guys into this group? How did you join into it?
Myself, I did a superhero cosplay day with Sab about 2 maybe years ago. And since then, he's not got rid of me.
That kept you around?
Yeah.
Get rid of Harley Quinn. Is Harley Quinn your favorite go-to cosplay?
It used to be Daenerys from Game of Thrones, but I'm having a lot of fun with Harley because I've got props. I like my props.
Props are good. It's hard to get a dragon.
Yeah. And I got these props. Yeah.
Harley is a very popular cosplay character. What brought you to her?
She's batshit, excuse my language, I swore. She's absolutely insane.
Hello?
She does what she wants when she wants. No one really holds her responsible. And it's a nice break from day-to-day life of being a responsible adult.
And Spider-Man, how long have you been involved with the group?
So we've pretty much just gone past 1 year. Pretty much like the group is like my family, so we never I just couldn't really get rid of them. They're kind of like the brothers and sisters that, we're like just one big cosplay family. So we've been around for like past a year, so we're just sort of hoping to kind of get going and hopefully persevere in the near future.
I can understand that. Are you guys all in the same general area?
Yeah.
So we're pretty much like obviously in the same country, but we're sort of like in the same area. So we're mostly based in the Yorkshire area.
Now, I have no idea. I know what the map looks like, but I don't know where the dots and the names are. Would that be in the northern part, southern, central?
Northeast.
Northeast.
And how did you guys hook up? I mean, what eventually gave you guys the idea to say, hey, you know what? We should form like our own Justice League or our own Justice Society.
Well, basically, what happened was I hosted, like Amy said, we had a superhero day, which for the second time I organised. So the first one was a £1,400 fundraiser for the Papa Royal Infirmary. And then the second one was for Mental Illness Mind, in which we managed to break even on 1,002. So after that, despite 30 characters and such, we just sort of like, I took a bit of a break. And then I just kind of had this vision, this idea that I was sort of inspired by other superhero groups. And I thought maybe I'd ask everyone, would you ever think of maybe doing something like this again, but maybe as a group? So maybe like bring out probably the most creative, the most, the craziest, the most talented cosplayers, the ones who are just themselves and, how they loved cosplay. And I said to them, why don't we maybe be a group and start doing events, help out, make a difference, make a community. And I pitched this to the guys, and they really loved the idea. So at first, we didn't really have the name Cosmaniacs. We were just like Cosplay Group 1 or Cosplay Team 1. And the idea of the Cosmaniacs was actually from a friend who was a stormtrooper. He's in his own sort of team. So we've just been sort of like, we started out as 5. So there was about 5, 6 of us. And then obviously went down to 5. So we've just been sort of conducting our little Justice League, our sort of Avengers type. The only difference with us is that we sort of look together as a family. So we're kind of, molded together as like a family group. We have each other's backs. We're like good friends in real life as well. So in a way, we mold. So that was kind of like the idea.
Excellent. And have you received much in the way of public attention?
Well, I would say that because I kind of feel like as a group, I feel like we're still growing and we're still learning from every experience. We're not as big as any other groups that have raised thousands for charity or have got their own base, their own brand, their own company, um, the way they operate and such. I feel like that we most likely have to give it maybe a couple of years and see where we are. But I would kind of like to see the group grow as more than just sort of a one location community. We kind of want to see if we can branch out more Justice Leagues types, so like more Cosmaniacs in the country. So that's kind of like my vision for the future.
You could, take something even international that way, Cosmaniacs International.
Oh well, very ambitious idea, but yeah, we'll definitely see.
It all starts somewhere. I'm still trying to bring everybody back in here. I did not take Hyperbole and Asylum out, but they are gone nonetheless. I don't know how that happened. I can see them in the green room. I'm trying to re-add them. Meanwhile, we have Natalie Cosplay in the group. Natalie, can you hear us?
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
And for the benefit of everybody watching, Natalie Cosplay was one of our Critical Blast Bombshells of the Month for 2019 and was selected by our readership as the Critical Blast Bombshell of the Year, which is how I became in contact with the Cosmaniacs and aware of them and started following several of them on Instagram. So what is your connection to cosplay? This is going to be a question you probably answered in our little questionnaire, but why do you keep this up, and why are there so many guitars behind you?
I play bass guitar. But yeah, it started with the superhero day. Sort of saw my comic book guy sort of post a link, which was SaveZad asking for people, for cosplayers to come and join with the event. So it took about 2 weeks before I plucked up the courage to actually ask if he needed people. So I went along to it, loved it, stayed in the group, and then we all just formed the Cosmaniacs together, so because we wanted to keep on bringing joy.
Now, I'm going to ask, does your team, do they read the comic books? Do they enjoy the movies? Do they just like the costuming and the dressing up?
Everything. I'm a big comic book reader as well, so I've got absolute loads.
And I don't even know how comic books are distributed in the UK. I've seen them like 30 years ago, and always seemed like they would wait till there was some sort of omnibus edition, like what we would get monthly in the United States. You guys would get like once every 2 or 3 months with a different cover and a thicker stack. Do you get the American comics once every month, just like we do now, or how does distribution work?
I think it's once a week that we get them. Yeah, at least my comic book guy, sort of like in town, the comic book shop that I go to does.
Very cool. All right, I am going to do something very drastic here. I'm going to reboot the entire hosting computer while we're here. You guys will not disappear. All you folks in the green room will not disappear, but there are gremlins in the machine here, and I'm going to exercise them through the use of holy water and electricity. We will see.
Get using some superpower.
Oh boy.
I may just run out and rent a computer sometime this week because this one's just not working anymore. While we're sitting here waiting, I would like to let people know that we do have these wonderful little 3-inch holofoil stickers that are now available for Critical Blast. If you would like to get one of those, all we ask is subscribe to the YouTube channel and DM us on Twitter. Let us know you did that and tell us where we want one sent. We will throw it in the mail. Yes, we have sent them international before. It doesn't cost us all that much. We're happy to do it. And to get the little tchotchkes out here. So, is there a division in the Cosmaniacs between Marvel and DC? Because I'm seeing Batgirl and I'm seeing Spider-Man, and I don't know if people have their favorites.
Well, the thing is, yeah. So basically, I feel like the difference between probably us and other groups is that most groups tend to stick with one sort of universe, whereas we're more accepting. So we like to accept cosplayers from different universes, whether they're Marvel, DC, and other universes. So I like to think that we're more of an accepting sort of universe. Like we wouldn't differentiate or discriminate types of characters, only because it won't make us such a unique group. Um, there have been groups that have followed suit, and it has brought nothing but sort of bring joy to everyone because everyone does like to see a variety of characters.
And everybody's got their favorites. And if you go to see a group of heroes at a convention, I'm assuming you hit those up as well. You have a better shot of hitting somebody's favorite character if you're going to be more diverse in your repertoire. So I'm feeling a little under cosplayed myself. Everybody's in costumes.
Yeah, we see the Flash T-shirt there.
Well,
Hey.
I'm going to take care of that here real quick. While the machine is rebooting, I don't often get dressed in front of a camera. But there.
Well, hey.
Now, I had a lot of fun creating this very, very simple cosplay. What steps do you guys go through to make your cosplays or to purchase your cosplays? And I think there's actually more of a market now for the purchased cosplays within the past 5 years or so than there ever used to be. What is your experience in making costumes and finding costumes?
I do a bit of both, really. Sort of, I've just bought a Supergirl one which arrived today, so I can't wait to wear that. And then there's sort of like other ones I've made, and like my Harley Quinns, all of those are handmade.
Now, I'm assuming the Batgirl cowl that you're wearing was a purchase.
Yes, it was actually on
Yeah.
Amazon as well, so it's done really well. But all the inside to my cape, that's all handmade and hand sewn.
Yeah, I remember back in the ancient days when the Earth was still cooling, and dinosaurs walked the Earth. People would put up pictures of the molds they were making to make their own latex rubber masks. And I had a Tim Burton Batman mask myself at one point that had to be handmade, and it looked wonderful. But the guy had to make a mold of something and then pour the foam rubber into it and shave it down, and it was expensive and time consuming. And now you young whippersnappers just get out there and you can find anything. I even had a Joker outfit, and the way to get a Joker outfit back in 1988 was to buy a white suit and a box of purple dye and wash it that way. And that was how you made a purple Joker suit.
I've attempted dye before. It don't turn out very well.
It never does. It never looks like the color on the box.
Yeah, I think I bought blue, but it turned out purple.
Well, you did pretty good then, because I bought purple and it came out kind of bluish. But the box is mixed up. Spider-Man, I'm going to assume your costume is also a purchase, unless you're really, really good at screen printing.
I honestly wish I had the creativity of the guys in the group. They have probably more creative experience and crafting experience than I have. Now, you see, I'd probably say my first ever cosplay, I actually sort of recycled my old clothes and such. I did a Tony Stark, so the only things that I bought were the materials used to make an art reactor, a homemade one. And then the suit, which I got from a really horrible wedding, basically I used that without the shirt, of course, and then obviously I used the sort of like art reactor shirt. So I sort of purchased different elements to create a cosplay, and I obviously bought a repulsor. In terms of the Spider-Man costumes, because I don't have access to a printing machine, or I can't pretty much do what Tobey Maguire does, or have the riches of Tony Stark or a billionaire father figure to make me a costume. But I can honestly say that like purchasing cosplay is kind of good because you're sort of appreciating and admiring other people's the costumes that they make for you. So, this is custom fit, and it is screen printed, so it is almost movie graded. But the best thing about sort of, for the purchase was that it does fit to my size. Whereas I'd have to think, should I go for a medium? Should I go for a small? And then I didn't really want any loose skin coming out, sort of like loose anything coming out of the costume. So I would say that obviously for me purchasing cosplays would be easier, but it's one of those.
Cam's not there.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to be on.
Everybody's here.
I did this one out of 2 Catering baked bean tins. So I made
Hey, Batman!
it's dancing.
It's a party.
Now, if I don't touch the computer, we may stay up. So let's talk to some of the new people that have just come in here. We have Cam and we have Batman.
Howdy.
So we'll start with alphabetical order. Batman, tell us a little bit about your cosplay and how you got into the group here.
Cosplay. Well, I altered
Batman
several
has no audio.
different versions.
Hold on, Batman. Cam, you tell us. I'm going to remove Batman and bring him back in.
Bye, Batman.
See you, Bats. Bye, Felicia.
Okay, did anybody leave? Nobody left.
No.
Nope.
There.
My mouse still looks like this, and it's not on anything. That tells me that it's like waiting and waiting and waiting. This sucks. This is prime time professional broadcasting here, folks. We're glad you're here. Okay, Cam, can we hear you?
Hopefully.
Yes, we can. All right. Tell us why you're dressed as Cam.
Because I guess I'm the
You're a
only
great
one cosplayer of the group.
You look just like him.
I'm mainly just the photographer of the group. I do more of the behind the scenes stuff and capture each interaction these lot have with people, the public, charity events, and also in regards to any sort of children. I've captured a lot of shots where, trust me, where little kids are brought out, their eyes just completely lit up as soon as they've seen each one of these people dressed up and doing an amazing cause. So I've always been behind the scenes, just checking everything.
That's, the photography of cosplay, I think, is an underappreciated part of the entire arena. I mean, yeah, you see these costumes and you realize the work that people have put into this.
No, absolutely.
But to show it off correctly and not look like you're standing there in something that you've homemade, I know that there are photographers who just get the pictures, make sure the lighting is correct, and make sure you have a good pose, and then there are the photographers who do a lot of after effects on it. Florencia Sofan is a cosplayer whose work, she looks like she's flying alongside jets when she's doing a Captain Marvel because they just do all the after effects and make it look real. What sort of do you do any of the after effects? Or are you more of the just let's take a really good picture and get it organized correctly? And
Well, I've done a mixture before. I've done After Effects, but I mainly like to show off the natural side of the hard work and everything that everybody's put into their cosplays. So whenever someone's put an amazing cosplay, I like to show the things that are left out. Like, for example, if it's an extra detail towards a utility belt in regards to any extra detail to a hat, specific mask, I like to bring out that natural side rather than altering it and potentially making it look unnatural. So that's more my effect.
all right, Batman, can we hear you now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Brilliant.
So how did you get involved with the gang of Cosmaniacs?
I used to do quite a few events myself, charity events. I used to visit hospitals, visit children's wards. I sort of heard about the Cosmaniacs through Facebook. Got in contact with them. Just asked if I could tag along, and they can't seem to get rid of me.
That seems to be a recurring theme. It is kind of addictive. It's something you want to do more of. again, I'll go back to when I was a young man in '88, and the Batman movie was coming out, the first Batman movie with Tim Burton. And I said, you know, all these Star Trek people, if they can go to Star Trek movies in their Star Trek shirts and their Spock ears, then I can go to see Batman dressed up as the Joker. Everybody will be doing it. Everybody will be going there as Batman and Joker and villains. I went to the theater. I was the only person in line getting looks from everybody because I was in white makeup and green hair and the purple suit. But I did go that way to Chicago Comic-Con afterward, and again, cosplay was not this huge thing. If you saw somebody in costume, they were hired usually by the publisher of whatever book they were in, and they were there for publicity photos. So to see somebody wandering around didn't really happen. But here I was as a psycho killer, and I had parents bringing their young children up to have their photos taken with me, sitting in a chair. I'm like, they're like, how much for photos? I'm like, I'm just a guy that's here. Just take the picture. I don't care.
Our father's Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. And when we go to the horror cons, he gets small children swarming him. They just want to be near this serial killer. And it's hilarious.
It's heartwarming and frightening at the same time. but do you get many children who, want to do what you do?
Yeah, we had a few today. We was doing an event, and we had some kids turn up, and one of them was a little mini Thor, and there was a little, I can't remember what he was. Was it Hulk or something?
Can't remember.
No, there was they turn up and they're really cute, in their little outfits, and they're all like, yeah. And
yeah, it was Royal Armouries with HQ, HQ.
Yeah.
We have a rather popular cosplayer over here in the States. Her name is Violet Verse, Violet with 2 T's, and she's, I want to say she's about between 10 and 12 years old, and she's putting up a cosplay a day on her Instagram account. And we had her.
Wow.
Yeah, we had her on our site like 2 years ago when she was 8. And she's just been doing these tremendous pint-sized cosplays of superheroes all the time. So you guys have inspired a new generation to pop up here that are probably going to do better than anybody today is doing as they get their experience and go along. Of course, the next thing to do with cosplay is you've got to start adding hero effects to your costumes. But we're going to need an Iron Man who can fly now.
Strap some rockets to the boots.
I've actually seen a guy with the propulsor hand units and feet units. He goes to conventions and he flies about the length of a parking lot and back. So that's there. We're moving along. I lost my train of thought now. Somebody jump in and direct this train.
Children cosplayers, and then he was talking about Violet, and then he was talking about After Effects.
Generations, basically.
We do have a lot of fun when we do events. One year I did Black Cat, and poor Spidey there, he wouldn't have to get changed. I waited for him to come out dressed as Black Cat. Jumped out at him. Natalie was stood with us and he screamed like you wouldn't believe.
When I first met you as well.
Yeah. And we did an event last year for Children's Heart Surgery Christmas party. I had Elsa on. Poor Spidey got stuck on my shoulder in a fireman's lift. And
I just want to point out I can easily be carried. As much as I look strong, I am a very skinny Spider-Man. So I can be wired. I feel like
there's nothing like putting on a superhero shirt to make you realize that you look nothing like one when you're my age. But I do it anyway.
We have a lot of fun when we do the fundraising. We just have a laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're we're just great friends out of cosplay. We're all really awesome friends, and we like to play video games. We all have similar interests. We're all crazy in some way. I don't know about Batman, but I mean, he looks very. I mean, just earlier, like we did an event in Wakefield. That was like our first event since
Many
February,
months.
many months, and to come out of lockdown and to see children just see us for the first time, it's like we've sort of given them hope and sort of given them something to talk about and something to laugh about, to take photos with.
Some of the
And
adults
I
might
couldn't,
have it as
and
well.
obviously, and Cam can vouch for me here, but you know, Batman does have a really convincing American accent most of the time.
What do you mean convincing?
He makes a
This
lot
is
of
how I
puns
know
as
it's
well.
So who has the widest wardrobe? The most
Oh.
varied wardrobe.
Amy. Hyperbot.
Yep, Amy.
You definitely do. You've
100%.
got your own wardrobe full.
I have a full room of cosplay and fabric and and props.
Her house is like a cosplay wardrobe.
Cool. So how much of your life is taken up by cosplaying? Because some of you on this very screen, I see putting up different cosplays every day on Instagram, and I'm thinking, surely they're not putting the costume on all the time and going back out and taking a picture. These must be in their like history file. They're just like, let's throw a picture out.
This is what I kind of do in my spare time. So this is Zach's 4 Trust Night.
Well, that's gorgeous.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm doing Aquaman for him at the minute. Oh sugar, sorry. So I've got Aquaman on the go for Zach, so that'll be coming out soon. So social life doesn't happen.
Now, do you go to like film premieres where it's like, when Spider-Man realizes, hey, there's a new Spider-Man movie coming out, this is my night to go to the theater and shine?
For Birds of Prey, I did do a Harley-esque inspired outfit. There was 2 girls in the audience. They saw me at the end of the film and squealed, and I go, can we take your photo with you? Can we take your photo? Can we take your photo? I'm like, yeah, sure. So took off one Harley jacket, and there's another Harley jacket underneath, and a Harley t-shirt. And like, it was like, this is awesome.
It's really her.
It was ace.
Now, do you get called upon by different agencies to appear in the name of charity?
So sometimes when we do see an event, like an opportunity, sort of like we do kind of sort of approach charities rather than them approaching us, only because we kind of feel like that, events and fundraisers and such mostly kind of need some superheroes, or in a way we like to donate our time to everyone the best we can. So normally we collaborate with other organizers like your HQ and CPM Entertainers. So those guys are pretty happy to have any more sort of like cosplay groups help out, and we build like a trusting relationship. We do get the odd charity event now and then, but obviously with lockdown it's obviously difficult because events can't really be held. And then most of the time we do work with each other, so most of the time some of us might have, like, in our workplaces we might have openings or a charity event going on, and like today example, weeks ago Amy mentioned her workplace was opening, so we basically sort of collaborated and sort of like donated our time to go out there and raise money for the Holly Bank Trust. And then our Batman here, Tom, obviously he's got a lot of experience in the charity sector, so normally we would sort of ask him or he would ask us if we can get involved.
So Batman is sort of your liaison with different charities.
We
Go ahead.
I work. Yeah. Well, I personally work for a care home. So I do a lot of charity work for them. I also do a lot of work for other Leeds-based charities, such as the Children's Heart Surgery Fund, Leeds Children's Hospital. I get in contact with a lot of charities and just ask them if they want a superhero to walk around Batman, for example, is a very popular balloon model that I make. Don't know if you can see that.
Hey,
hold
I
up.
miss those balloons.
Hold up. We will see that. I'm going to give you full screen. If the computer will quit scrolling as I try to do it. All right. We're going full screen here. Let's see that Batman balloon model. Oh,
Wow.
my God. You have got to do that on YouTube sometime and just show it being made the whole way around. That is fantastic. That looks like something from Aardvark Studios, only in balloon.
He's a genius. Like, he can craft
That is
anything.
super cool. So,
I mean,
so So how do people reach out to you if they want to have some superheroes? And how do they find you?
Well, we do have our own Facebook page, which is the Cosmaniacs charity group. We also have Instagram, and we're still debating on whether we should do TikTok, whether we can maybe do some funny videos and maybe pull a few shenanigans now and then. I know our cameraman would love to see us, or personally me, get thrown over or carried around like a rag doll, but we're still debating on that. But in terms of reaching out and such, I think it's just a matter of word of mouth. So we sort of talk to people, we hand business cards out, we post our cosplays, and we tag each other on our cosplay posts. So most of the time, people will eventually look at that one post and think, "Oh, these guys look cool. Maybe I'd want them for my next event." And then some of the times we do get a lot of event requests, but obviously because, as every superhero would say, there's also a personal life too. So most of us do try to sort of fit around the schedule and sort of try to donate our time for these places and these charities.
Now, do you have any upcoming events that people should know about where they could go to see you guys?
Well, we just had done an event today with Amy's workplace. So we were collecting for the Hollybank Trust with Batman and our Thor and our Harley, and then featuring our cameraman. We basically, there's a pun intended. Basically, what we've done is we just sort of, we went to the event. We donated 2 hours of our time, but we did have very strict, vigorous, and we did too. I enjoyed that tuna panini. So basically, the fact is that we had to sort of plan and make sure how are we going to do this with social distancing laws, and obviously with the Super Saturday, it's hectic in the UK now with pubs opening and most businesses opening. So in that perspective, we just wanted to see how safe that we could do this without possibly being infected or infecting others. But in that perspective, we would always make sure that we're okay. We're not self-isolating. We don't have any symptoms and such before we would go out. But in terms of upcoming events, we're sort of maybe in the future. I mean, we're probably going to start doing more internal reaching out, and then sort of see places.
Follow our page, and everything we do will be put up on there and hosted. So we'll announce this date. We're doing this. We're doing that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sorry,
I do have the link to your Facebook page in the description below. So anybody watching this video, if you've stuck around long enough through all my technical.
We have an Instagram as well. We do have Instagram.
Yes. Okay, that's what I've got down there. Then I will need to put. I'm going to put all your links. If I don't have it, let me know, and I will edit it, because I can edit the video at any time and change anything in it except what we said. That would take a little bit more technical expertise than what I've got. But I think what you guys do is just great. I've been a fan of cosplay for, well, ever since I first saw my first Halloween costume that literally said Superman in letters across the chest of it, and I was 5. I'm like, I want a Superman costume, even though it doesn't look anything like a Superman costume.
Wow.
There's just it's unexplainable, really, but it's something that if you see it and you like it, you're just drawn to it, and you have to do it. And I think you guys probably get that more than other people do.
It's something that I love. And I don't think I'll ever stop cosplaying.
Yeah,
If you want Neil Folk Zone causing trouble dressed as Batgirl. Yeah.
Do you guys work out things like that where you know that Harley and Batgirl are going to kind of banter back and forth?
We've actually got Play Bunny planned. We're doing Play Bunny Harley Batgirl, which is going to be fun.
Very good, very good. I have nothing more to ask. I mean, if you guys have anything, if there's anything you wanted to talk about that I didn't bring up, by all means, jump in and tell us what it is, because this is a world that I'm not an expert in. I just enjoy it as a spectator and as a sometimes participant.
You should come to the event, and you should come to one of our things we're fundraising at, and you could do a live from them.
I would love to do that. Right now, Spider-Man's got the advantage on everybody because he can still do events because he's got a face mask on.
I mean, to be honest, all I can say to the world is that, it doesn't matter if you're skinny, it doesn't matter if you're overweight, it doesn't matter if you're not the right character, it doesn't matter if you, store-bought costumes or if you have, like such a massive creative mind. Like I said, just all I can say for cosplay is just do it. Just do it. Don't even think about what people say. Exactly. Exactly. You have to do what's passionate for you. You have to put yourself first before anyone's opinions. Like, we spoke together as a group. We do not allow any sort of, like toxicity take over groups, or we make sure that we work things out together as a group. We're all family here. And that's the one thing that we sort of molded, that's molded the Cosmaniacs, is that we're all, great friends in real life. We don't just say hi and bye. Sometimes we'll go for a quick bite or, just talk about cosplay, or sometimes my best friend will always, ask me, how's life going and whatnot. And, I would always repeat the same answer. But I do tell you this, despite being the managing person of the Cosmaniacs, these guys do often roast me quite a lot. So, I just want to point out that usually a leader is someone who, would make sure everyone's in place. But in this case, everyone, again, manages their own time with the Cosmaniacs. So they do have a pretty good excuse to slightly roast me and bully me and such.
It's really good fun.
It's apparently it's an activity for them.
Do you all help each other with your individual cosplays? I mean, it's like if somebody needs one thing done, they know who the expert is in that particular area that they would go to for help.
Well,
I did actually get a few things from Hyperbolic today. Another version of Harley Quinn, a few bits that she had. So we're going towards the other one.
This was actually a birthday present from you.
Oh yeah, and Stormbreaker.
So, that's again helps
see that you're worthy to lift it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, trust me, I tried lifting that. It didn't work for me. One of the things that one of the things that Amy made for me the first time is that she made me some web shooters that were made out of 3D. I mean, she has a 3D printer. Like, I wish I had a 3D printer. I mean, think about the stuff that I could make with a 3D printer. The amount of props, the amount of, I mean, I'm working on a project at the moment, which is I'm hoping someone else can print for me. But I'm going to keep that a little top secret on the group. And I will unveil it sometime this year. I'm just waiting for the time to get the person to get his bearings together and just craft it. And then hopefully it'll be a masterpiece. But Yeah, I mean, everyone is very creative, and we do give each other tips and such. Obviously, Natalie's very experienced in crafting and obviously with cosplays, so she does give advice. Amy does give a lot of advice too. But most of the time, the only advice we get from Cam is mostly just about like what poses that we can do. You know, he's like the director. Obviously, we can't call him Michael Bay because he's like the complete opposite.
Well, first of all,
Obviously,
you can see the people in the pictures. It's not dark and nothing's exploding.
indeed, like Cam wants to make sure that our moments are captured because you only get those one opportunity, the one shot, the one opportunity, to seize that, everything,
Even when we're not expecting it.
Just calling it
exactly.
It's when you
Yeah,
get
I'm
the
not
best
quoting
opportunity.
them. Oh wait, I am.
Do
Oh,
you ever
shoot.
just like just start grabbing pieces of cosplay from your wardrobe and putting it on and realizing that, well, probably not by accident, but maybe more for fun, to realize that, hey, I've grabbed my Batgirl cowl, but I've got my Harley T-shirt and my Thor hammer. There we go. But just to sort of mix up the like take characters and throw them into a blender and just pop one out.
Yeah, definitely.
I got that one.
I think that like cross cosplay is one of the most unique things because I have seen people do Harley Jokers. I've seen people do like Spider-Man like
I've
with
got the
Iron Man.
Deadpool.
Yeah. So I think that like experimenting with cosplay is pretty good because there's so much potential to just one cosplay. You could think like our minds are like mush full of like these cosplay ideas, and then sometimes you never know. Like there might be a day where you think you could just imagine yourself like in that cosplay, and you think, yeah, this could work. So it's good to experiment with cosplay and such. Hence why we've got our lovely group here, except Cam. He's cosplaying as a photographer today. So
I didn't even have a camera on me.
One of the things I like in cosplay now, obviously the more popular characters, the Spider-Mans, the Harleys, the Batgirls, the Batmans, everybody wants to do those, but sometimes you find this obscure character that somebody put a lot of love into making their character of, and that's.
I have this with Black Cat. Felicia Hardy from Spider-Man universe.
Yes.
I did a couple of events with Black Cat, and I had several older gentlemen with the kids wonder over, ask about the character. I explained Spider-Man universe. She's called Black Cat. She's Spider-Man's nemesis and friends. She's a cat burglar.
he's always grabbing me.
And the response was, "Kids, do you want a picture with Catwoman?"
Well,
and I did with Fluttershy, with My Little Pony. And I did a hospital trip with Tom one day. And Fluttershy is My Little Pony. I did the Aquaria Girls version. And the woman was going around introducing me as Flutter Fairy. No, darling, Fluttershy. I'm a pony, not a fairy.
I mean, if it's any consideration, I've been called Deadpool and Superman. Like,
Oh, you got pirate today. Thor got no.
Yeah.
Some kids were like,
Yeah.
Thor was called pirate.
his name is Or that kind of thing. But that was horrible. He's gone to Arsgard, that kind of thing.
Funny
But,
was that.
I didn't realise I traded my maid in for a glass of rum, but okay.
Jack Sparrow.
And then you pull your hand into your sleeve and hold the hammer, so you got a hammer for a hook instead.
That's what I need for hook. Captain Cook.
Yeah, I like to go with the Golden Age heroes when I do something because they all wore baggy shirts with something just spray painted on the front of them and a domino mask. I'm like, yeah, I'm down with that. That fits my budget. That fits my body type. I'm good to go. All right, well, guys, I do really appreciate you coming together and for your patience with our initial technical difficulty starting off here. I'm glad that it finally all came together. Are you recruiting new members all the time? I mean, is this all the Cosmaniacs, or is this a subset?
No. Well, there are more members. However, though, we're still putting them on the trial basis. So we do have a rule, which is if you pass 3 attempts of a trial event, so 3 events, and our committee would sort of have a pass or a no. And obviously, 2 passes or more equals you become a permanent member, and you get a nice little badge too. And
It's like
basically,
Legion of Superheroes tryouts.
indeed, it's obviously we want to sort of not make a mistake of just having someone straight away on board, and then there might be a day where the cosplayer might have a bad day. So we need to sort of make sure that we need to know the cosplayer is good with communication, whether he's he and she is good to the character, um, mannerisms, professionalism.
Interact
Um,
with different people.
exactly. So we want to make sure that we're the person's outgoing, whereas I mean being cosplay is great, but it's all about interacting with the public because children, adults, people will see you as their hero. And if you sort of shy away from them or sort of reject advances, it's not the kind of sort of attitude and mentality that we display as a Cosmaniac. We want to make sure that no one is left out. We want to make sure that every child gets a high five or a hug or a handshake. So it's
Even
something
the
that
shy
we do as
ones.
a team. In terms of recruiting, at the moment we've sort of ceased recruiting temporarily at the moment. Obviously to focus on what we can do after lockdown, whether we can slowly ease into doing more events and sort of maybe trying to get more members and sort of build a branch of a community. How I explained earlier, we want to make sure that we can have different different Justice League type Cosmaniacs in different areas of the country. But at the moment, we sort of want to focus on one area at the moment, and just see how it goes from there.
Sorry.
I think I like what you talk about almost the quality control in the cosplayer, not necessarily from you're wearing a plastic mask versus you're wearing something that's made out of real spandex, but in the representation of the character, even if you're representing a villain and you're interacting with children, you don't necessarily have to represent all the qualities of the Joker, for crying out loud, because you're going to be interacting with children. But you do have
Surprisingly,
yeah.
surprisingly, children are actually more comfortable talking to the Joker than they are to me.
That's because Batman smells.
And you scary.
Don't forget about
And
one of those 2 teenagers earlier today.
Oh yeah.
We made
Tom really scared them.
teenage girls scream and run away. They walked past.
And the only thing he was doing was talking. He didn't do anything else but talk.
Oh no,
Well,
he went
technically, you didn't raise your voice.
Yeah, but he was doing it in a very Batman-esque way.
I mean,
Well,
I was confused.
I was just saying hello.
It felt like
Didn't sound like it.
it was kind of like Christian Bale in a Ben Affleck suit.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you go with the Kevin Conroy voice, or if you go with the Christian Bale voice.
Depends on how small the children are. If it's very small children, I tend to talk in my normal voice.
There you go. Yeah, Christian Bale must have gone through like a truckload of lozenges by the time that film was done, because that was completely wrong voice for that.
We would
just
just like
Vader
to,
route and had Kevin Conroy voice him over. But you do. You have to recognize that you are being looked to as a role model, even as a villain, when you're in this costume. And Hollywood actors, some of them get that, and some of them don't. I think I can't express how disappointed I was to see Tyler Hoechlin in that kind of infamous photo where with the CW actors in his Superman suit, flipping the bird to the camera. That's not an image that you want your heroes to be portrayed in, and you want somebody who's going to recognize that, hey, when I'm wearing this Superman suit and a kid comes up to me, I stop what I'm doing because it's not about me while I'm wearing this outfit. It's about the ideals that I'm representing, and I put myself second. and all the best cosplayers, they get that, and I'm sure you guys have had to understand that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we do. We are role models. Heroes can be anyone, even though when they see them on TV. I mean, technically, Harley is an anti-hero. She's not really a villain. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, she is good and bad at the same time.
It depends on which Harley you're watching. The animated series
It's amazing.
It's amazing, but she's insane.
Yes.
she makes the Joker look like somebody who's got a plan. and I love it. But in fact, I had it right here on DVD just a minute ago, and I've apparently put it away because I was done with it. Because that's the other thing we do here at Critical Blast is we're technically supposed to be doing movie reviews and DVD reviews and comic book reviews. That's what we're here for. Somewhere along the way, we became a YouTube channel, and gosh, it was like 5 years now we've been at this, where somebody just emailed me pictures of a character in a Batgirl outfit, and I swear to God, I thought he sent me pictures of a statue that was like a toy. I was like, I need to get this for my desk. And then I realized, wait, that's a living person looking so realistically like Batgirl. And that was Nidus Rouge, by the way, who's an excellent cosplayer. So we interviewed her. We said, we got to do an interview with this person. And when it was all done, I was talking with the other guys on staff. I was like, what if we did this once a month with a cosplayer? What would, and just tried to run with it. What would we do? What would we have? And we decided, we didn't want to go after the Yaya Hans or the people. When I go looking for somebody to do, to approach to be our monthly bombshell, if you've got more than 10,000 subscribers on your Instagram, we don't bother. You're not interested anyway. You've already got enough reach. But I do look for things like, the spirit they're putting into their cosplay. And it doesn't even have to be professionally molded. If it's something I can tell you're putting a lot of work into and you've got a wide range in cosplays, it's very likely that, we're going to want to have you on sometime and let you be the feature and maybe draw you some more subscribers by way of being featured that way. And I don't know if it helps at all. Natalie, you'd be the only person around who could actually tell me that if you've got any bump in your followers after that month and the year award. But it's fun. We like doing it. And to be honest, it's not a whole lot of work on my part because I make you do all the writing. And I just post it. So I'll just throw that out there as we're closing up here, that if you are a cosplayer and you want to be considered as one of the Critical Blast Bombshells of the month, send us an email at bombshell@criticalblast.com and let us know that you're interested, and we will recruit you. We haven't turned anybody down yet, but there's first time for everything, I guess. That's when I know we'll be there. Anyway, Spider-Man, Batgirl, Hyperbole and Asylum, Batman, and Cam. I feel like you're the snapper car of the group, Cam. There's no costume going on here. We definitely appreciate you guys being here, the Cosmaniacs. Hit up the description for links to their Facebook and their Instagram. Give these guys a follow and support the charities they're involved in. If you're in the area and you can see that they're going to be there doing something, go out not just to see them, but bring cash and donate to the charity that they're helping out with, because that's why they're there.
Like cake.
Exactly. All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end the broadcast. Thank you once again, everybody, for showing up. And
Been awesome, Pino.
You're welcome.
And happy 4th of July to you lovely Americans.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody asked me if they had 4th of July in England. I said, no, they jumped straight from the 3rd to the 5th.
That's how it works, I'm afraid.
Exactly. All right. Thanks again. And